So all of you could see the screen, please let me know so I can proceed.
Yes, sir.
Fine. So in genomics, what we have studied so far, with respect to our body, we know that we have somewhere around 30,000 genes approximately, which contribute somewhere around 29,567 or something. Okay. Now, apart from that, we have 46 chromosomes. Okay. So each from one parent, so that is a pair of 23, and that chromosome is in turn bound to some kind of protein. So that bounded part is known as DNA, and majority of the time the proteins which are involved are histone proteins. Is it correct? We people studied this part. Hello. So you
Yes, sir.
people, yes. Fine. So this is just to give you a brief idea. So our genomics will be related to this. So what is the central dogma of life? What do people know about it? When do we say it is a central dogma?
So it's a process of like
Huh.
RNA to DNA formation and then no, DNA to RNA and then to protein.
Okay. So like over here we have say approximately, this is just an example, 20,000 genes approximately, it undergo modification, and then it will form mRNA, and from mRNA it will form protein. So this is transcription. DNA to mRNA is transcription part. mRNA to protein is translation part. So what generally happens, we have somewhere around approximately 2000 factors of transcription which are contributing, and approximately 2 mRNA per hour gets transcribed. mRNA per copy, say 10 copies are present per cell, it undergoes modification, and say from those 10 copies we get somewhere around 140 proteins of mRNA per hour. For that process also, when mRNA undergo degradation part, the half life of mRNA is 7.6 to 9 hours. That is the half life, and approximately 1000 RNA binding protein contributes to mRNA degradation itself, and from those 10 copies we get somewhere around 50,000 copies of cells, of protein per cell, which undergoes again post translational modification, and then protein gets degraded in 46 hours of half life approximately. So that is the maximum half life for any protein. Beyond that the protein doesn't survive, and approximately hundreds of ubiquitinating decubiting enzymes and proteases will help in a protein degradation. So ubiquitination you must have studied with respect to MSc 1. So that is just to give you idea central dogma of life. So anything apart from this happens in reality, apart from central dogma of life, you must have studied. Like we have DNA, right? Then RNA and protein. This is the sequence, right? So anything apart from that happens.
So we also
Reverse
have
transcription, sir.
Reverse transcription, right? So reverse transcription happens like it was seen in which organism? It was first observed in one of the microorganisms. You people must have studied. You don't remember, let me know. I will let you know. So this was the enzyme reverse transcriptase. It was found in HIV for the first time, and we came to know that okay, there is something called as reverse transcription which occurs in viruses. It is not common in humans, but it occurs majority of the time in viruses, and we use this technology majority of the time in PCR, polymerase chain reactions, where we convert our cDNA to RNA to cDNA, and we use it for further amplification. So basically, anything to do with recombinant DNA technology, majority of the role is played by reverse transcriptase enzyme. So that is just two ideas. So that is the central dogma of life. We all have studied DNA to mRNA, mRNA to protein. Before mRNA, once mRNA is formed, before that, there is something called as pre-mRNA. So pre-mRNA will undergo processing, and you will get functional mRNA. Okay. Now, where is the location where transcription occurs inside the cell? You know the location of transcription?
In nucleus, sir.
Nucleus itself, right? And after processing, what happens?
It goes in ribosome leading to nucleus.
No, after nucleus, it will go out of nucleus and it will be processed for translation outside the nucleus. So it will go in the cytoplasm and processing will occur. The processing, the translation doesn't occur in nucleus itself. It will occur in cytoplasm. Now, pre-mRNA. So it happens in nucleus. So what are the stages present in pre-mRNA? We have initiation, elongation, and termination. So with respect to initiation, we'll discuss in brief. So what are the key components which are present in initiation? You people must have studied, aware of that.
And splicing.
No, not splicing. Initiation. So this is
Capping,
the
sir.
process where, yeah. So the process is where actually your pre-mRNA synthesis begins. What are the key components which are required? You need DNA-dependent RNA polymerase. Then you need nucleotides. Which are the nucleotides do we require over here? In case of RNA, uracil is the only different one, right? So in
Yes,
case of
sir.
transcription, yeah. So in case of transcription, what do we have? First, we have DNA which is present in the nucleus. Okay. So this is the DNA. So DNA will undergo underwinding because of the action of RNA polymerase. Okay. Then RNA polymerase will bind. So this is your RNA polymerase, and it will go from your 3 dash to 5 dash direction, and the strand which is going to get formed is in 5 dash to 3 dash direction. So this is the simplified process. So after that, you will get your pre-mRNA, okay, and then that pre-mRNA will be released and it will be like transferred to cytoplasma, and then translation will occur. So this is the basic starting point of your transcription where your RNA polymerase will begin. So there is any region where RNA polymerase binds. So there are few regions you must have studied in gene terminologies. What are those? We have promoter region, we have region which actually gets transcribed, which is also known as exon. We have introns and termination signal. Apart from that, we also may have enhancer region. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
These things do we have, right? So promoter region. So have you studied of promoter region? What could be the promoter region and where it is present? So where is the promoter region present? Like this is our gene of interest. This is promoter and this is terminator signal, okay, or a stop signal. Now I have +1 starting position from the part which is undergo transcription by RNA polymerase. Okay, from here. Now this is +1. So this region is called as upstream, downstream. Have you heard of the term
Upstream.
upstream? So which is upstream?
In the direction of the sequence is upstream.
Like gene of interest, which I am saying, like this region which I am highlighting, that is the upstream.
Yes, sir.
No, actually, the promoter region itself is the upstream, and where the transcription occurs is the downstream region. This region is your upstream, and your promoter binds over here. So one of the region where promoter binds, you
Sir,
must have studied. Yeah,
can you please recall it once as 3 prime and 5 prime regions so that we can understand it better? Just to recollect.
yeah, sure. So like what happens in the transcription part in that? So you have DNA, okay. So you have say 3 dash to 5 dash and 5 dash to 3 dash. So whenever transcription occurs, the transcription occurs in 5 dash to 3 dash direction. So basically your RNA polymerase binds to your promoter first, okay. From there it reaches to your site +1 from where transcription is going to occur. So RNA polymerase along with many other factors, one of the factor is sigma or rho factor, sorry. So what it does, it helps you. So the part of the DNA will undergo uncoiling, and like in this direction if the transcription is occurring, so this part obviously will undergo uncoiling, and this part, the part behind, will undergo coiling. So this is basically your negative coiling and this is your positive coiling. So negative winding and positive winding, that is in the another terminology. So your RNA polymerase will go from this direction to this direction and it will start transcribing. So in between what exactly happens? You have two strands of DNA, right? So this is say the strand and this is another strand of DNA, and your RNA polymerase is going in this direction. So only one of the strand is going to be used. So it is always going to be like, in case of replication, what do we have? We have two strands, right? We have one leading strand and one lagging strand. So in case of transcription, only one strand will be used, and that strand is known as template strand or a coding strand. So basically transcription will occur from one of the strand only, with the help of one of the strand only, and the another strand is non-coding strand. So it is not taking place in the transcription process. So far it is clear? Any doubt?
No,
No, sir.
sir.
Fine. So moving on to the next part. So in case of initiation, what do we need? We need DNA dependent RNA polymerase. We need nucleotides. So in case of, like, obviously we all know that this is RNA, so we need uracil instead of thymine. Then we will need ions, so magnesium and zinc also required in some of the cases. Now this is the first step. Your RNA polymerase will bind over here, and the plus sign, +1, from the region where it will start transcribing your gene of interest. And like I was explaining this when the doubt came. So this is a Tata box. So this is the widely known promoter region, extensively studied, and this is where your RNA polymerase first binds and it recognizes, okay, this is the region from where I have to start transcription. So this is the recognition sequence, you could say, in the promoter region. It recognizes this and then only it will go ahead and it will start screening. And after a particular point, when it reaches that +1 region, it starts transcribing your pre-mRNA. Now, after the transcription, okay, the elongation occurs. One sec. The elongation occurs and this is your newly synthesized RNA molecule. Okay. So generally it forms up to say 8 to 10 base pairs, or in few cases up to 50 base pairs. This newly synthesized RNA molecule will be formed and then it will be released. So RNA polymerase will go on continuing its process. So this is your RNA polymerase and it will go on continuing unless and until it reaches to a stop signal. which is also known as your termination signal. So this is the promoter region. This is the starting signal where your RNA polymerase was bound earlier. Then it came to your downstream region. It transcribed your mRNA copy. This is your mRNA copy, okay, which is shown in purple. And then it came across the terminator signal, and where it recognizes, okay, the termination needs to be stopped. I can't go beyond this point because whatever protein was required, that has been formed. So once the polypeptide is formed, sorry, your codon region is formed in this case, not polypeptide. I'm extremely sorry for that. Once your coding region is formed, it will undergo pre-processing and then it will be released out of the nucleus. So far, any doubts? कुछ नहीं समझा है इसमें.
No, sir, no doubts.
Okay. So this is the actual process. So what happens? You could see this diagram. All of you could see,
Yes, sir.
right? So this is the yellow color part is your RNA polymerase. Okay. So this is your DNA, and this is the close promoter sequence, and this is the rho factor, and also known as like sigma factor, and this which looks like your can say eating part, uh, this region, okay, and your RNA polymerase will bind over here, and then this is the RNA coding sequence which needs to be transcribed. So this is your minus 35 region. So initiation, so this region where it has bound is minus 35. This is the minus 10 region, which is upstream, sorry, and from here the purple color where it begins, okay, this is the sequence which is undergoing transcription, okay. Now this is the direction of transcription. So after 8 to 9 nucleotides have been polymerized, the sigma factor dissociates from the core enzyme. So this is the core enzyme of RNA polymerase, and this sigma factor will get dissociated as soon as you could see over here, this green color part, right? Just highlight.
So your voice is not clear.
Okay, sorry. Now is it fine? Now you can hear. Is it clear now? Hello.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So the region which I am highlighting over here, okay, this green color part, that part is your RNA DNA hybrid, which gets formed as soon as your RNA polymerase starts transcription. And as RNA polymerase elongates, the enzyme untwists the DNA ahead of it. So this will undergo uncoiling and this will undergo coiling once the RNA polymerase move ahead, and your transcription will happen. Now, this is just to let you know what exactly happens. So this is the +1 site This is the RNA polymerase. So RNA polymerase first binds to your promoter region, okay, and then what it does, it recognizes the sequence. So we have two factors. One is -35 region, which is present in the promoter region, which is quite common, and the another is Tata box, which I have explained. It is widely known as promoter sequence. So this is the question which comes majority of the time about -35 and -10 region in your CSIR net exam. So your promoter binds over here and your sigma factors bind. It helps in RNA polymerase to recognize this promoter region, and your transcription starts at this site. Now, this is the reason. Okay. So, what is the actual structure of RNA polymerase and what are the enzymes which will take care and which will play a major role? So, we have alpha, beta dash, and sigma factors, and this is new subunit. So, this subunit you could see after rotating it to 180 degrees Celsius. Okay, not Celsius, 180 degree. So this is from the this is the diagram of RNA polymerase, which is the holoenzyme, and it is found from Thermus aquaticus. So this is the PDB ID of that. So this is the overall structure of RNA polymerase, which is very much similar to your E. coli also. Okay. Now the DNA is not shown over here. The beta subunit is in gray. So these are beta subunits, and two shades of alpha subunit which are shown in different shades of red. So we have two alpha subunits, two beta subunit, and W and sigma, which is in orange. So this is one sigma, and the image on the left side is oriented, and where structure is when this part is rotated, you could see this subunit, and which is very small. So we have totally two alpha, two beta, two, three, four, six subunits, which is a part of your RNA polymerase, and which is exactly similar to your E. coli, and this is taken from Thermus aquaticus. No. About the upstream region, so what exactly happens in the upstream region, we will talk about that. So far, any doubts you have? कुछ नहीं समझा है? Hello?
No, sir, no doubt.
No doubts? Okay, fine, good. So this is your upstream region, okay? And this is the starting point. This is the -35. This is the spacer. This is -10 region, and here RNA transcription will start. So this is just to let you know what are the consensus sequences, and this is the element. So right, I have said the non-template strand is shown in 5' to 3' direction. This is non-template strand, and what are the regions which are present? So as you
Your
could
voice
see,
is not clear.
अभी भी नहीं आ रहा है clear. हेलो,
It's
अभी आ
somehow
रहा है?
good. Yes, sir.
Okay. Like I'm using my headphone, but I'm not sure why it is not clear. Now is it audible? Like, is it clear or not?
It's now clear, sir.
Okay. So like just to compare about -35 and -10 promoter region, this is in tryptophan, this is lag. Xeric enzyme and ARBID. So minus 35 region, as you could see, it is somewhat similar over here. It is not similar in RRNBP1. Okay. Then you could see there is a little bit of differentiation in, like, over here, G is there at the third position. Over here it is T. Again, G is there. And the first position, nucleotide has been changed. Okay. Then the spacer region, and this is minus 10 region, which is your Tata box. Okay. So Tata box, as you could see, TATA 80, TATA 80. Then over here in tripuperon it is bit different. Again in lacoperon it is different, and so on. So you could see part of that, which is of these sequences, it is conserved. Okay. And this is just to let you know what are the promoter regions and how they are conserved in operons also. You must have studied operons, right?
Yes, sir.
You have that, like this semester you had.
No, sir, we had it in our undergraduate.
Okay. So like your promoter region somewhere around say minus 40 to minus 60 region, and up, like overall that region it contributes up to minus 10, and like your RNA polymerase recognizes this sequence and it binds, and then your transcription occurs. Apart from this, uh, what exactly happens in a process, we'll just go through that in a brief manner. So first of all, you have your RNA polymerase and sigma factor. The RNA polymerase and sigma factor will recognize the DNA, which needs to get transcribed to RNA. For that sake, it will go and they will bind to your promoter region. The promoter region consists of minus 35 and minus 10. One of the known promoter in prokaryotes is Tata box. There are other promoter regions which are also known as. We'll talk about that in the next lecture, Pribnov box. This is just to give you a brief idea about exactly happens in the transcription and DNA dependent RNA polymerase. So this is the first step which occurs. After that, your polymerase will go ahead and it will start transcribing in 5' to 3' direction of your DNA's template strand, which is in 3' to 5' direction. So this is your template strand. Your RNA polymerase will go ahead and it will form your RNA DNA hybrid. So in this case, say DNA RNA hybrid. which is in 5' to 3' direction, unless and until it encounters stop signal or a termination signal. So once it reaches the termination signal, the RNA polymerase will be released. Whatever peptide has been formed, whatever mRNA has been, pre-mRNA has been formed, that pre-mRNA will undergo processing. One of the processing is known as your splicing mechanism. Right, what we have, so our RNA itself, uh, which is formed, is not correct majority of the time. Okay, so there are always transcriptional error. So the transcriptional rate is sometimes somewhere around 10 raised to 4 or 10 raised to 5 base pair per base pair. Okay, so this is the huge error, but it is taken care of because the proofreading activity is there, and it doesn't affect much of the time because the number of copies which are produced are more, and the transcription error, though it is there, it is not going to affect the protein that much. Okay, why is it so? This error doesn't affect the end product of the protein. Any reason? Like those, like for example, AUG, instead of AUG, you get AUC, or you get UUG. Instead of that, you get UUA, and still it get transcribed and translated into a correct protein later on. Is there any reason behind this? Your end product of, like, you get transcribed, and end product of translation still doesn't get differ, though it has a different sets of codon. It still forms the same set of protein. Is there any reason behind that? Hello.
So your voice wasn't clear.
Like your end product, now you can hear, like whatever I have explained. Shall I explain it again? This, the slide which I am
Yes, the
explaining.
question wasn't
Okay,
clear.
okay. So what I'm asking, like, you get transcription, so you get copies of mRNAs over there, right? So though in like the copy number one, the codon sequence is different than copy number two. Still, the end product of the translation, the protein which is formed, the protein is going to be the same. What is the reason? What could be the reason behind that? You people must have studied.
So cannot recollect for now.
Okay, like what we have seen so far, we have 20 amino acids, right? Total. Is it correct? Like 22 we have right now, but by default, naturally, we have 20 amino acids as we have studied so far. Those 20 amino acids, like few of the amino acids present in that are coded by more than 6 codon pairs, like 6 codon sets. Like, for example, UAC, UAG, UAA will code for same amino acid, say leucine itself. So even though any of this changes while transcription, it is still going to code for leucine only. isn't it?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, that's why the end product doesn't change majority of the time. So though the transcription error is there, it is not going to affect majority of the time the end product. And even if the proofreading is not that much strong, we are going to get the same protein. And whatever, like if it the product is not like transcription product is not proper, or when pre mRNA undergo splicing mechanism, whatever part which is not required, that part will be again utilized to form your nucleotides, and it will be utilized again. So continuous recycling process which is going on inside your cell, so nothing is going to get wasted. Apart from that, which I forgot to mention, you also need energy, which is provided by ATP in this case, along with magnesium and zinc ion. So this is to just give you idea about transcription, how does it occur. And in the next lecture we will talk in brief about, apart from this promoter region which I have explained, the next part will be how exactly DNA dependent RNA polymerase uh, occurs and RNA dependent synthesis occurs, and further part of that. So far, you have any doubts? Anyone has
Sir,
any doubt?
sir,
Yeah.
I had doubts. So,
Yeah.
where does repair mechanisms come in play? Like, if there is error in translation.
No, the error in translation, this is about transcription. So this is not about translation part. So whatever we are
So,
discussing, that part. Yeah.
so transcription doesn't have any repair mechanisms.
No, transcription do have repair mechanisms. So there are various repair mechanisms. So, but in this case, in case of prokaryotes, majority of the time it doesn't occur. The repairing doesn't occur that much because the error rate is not that much. And in case of eukaryotes, there is a repair mechanism. So you have various repair mechanisms, but this doesn't come under this part so far. So once we finish off this part, we will talk about repair mechanism, which is later on.
Okay, sir.
So any doubts so far in this part, whatever I have taught today?
No, sir.
No, sir.
Okay. So the next lecture will be on Friday, morning 7 to 8, which will be your next paper. I guess so. It is 103. Please let me know that. Is it 103? Someone like Bhumi, if I'm not wrong, she gave me the syllabus yesterday.
Yes, sir.